What's going on, people? What's really good? It's your boy Marvlat, and this is the Nerds in the Hood. Folks, I believe you already know where I'm about to go with this video, and you've seen it in the title. You already know the vibes. But as we know by now, the Kansas City Chiefs did not get the three-peat. I repeat, did not get the three-peat. They ended it at a 2 Super Bowl winning streak, courtesy of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I am a New York Giants fan, so I will not be saying congratulations to the whole entire Philadelphia Eagles organization, but I will congratulate Saquon Barkley because he didn't leave the Giants on bad terms. He tried to continue his career as a Giant, and the Giants would not let him, which is just crazy. So here we are without a star running back, without a star quarterback, and our star running back just won the NFL Super Bowl literally a year after playing for us. So that's just the way of the business, you know. But anyway, Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions, so it is what it is. But I don't really want to talk about what happened with that. I don't want to talk about the sports stuff. I could, as my phone just went off right there, I could sit here and talk to you guys about, you know, the Black history, which is what I will do. I want to talk about the Black history that happened at the Super Bowl because to me, just like the Grammys, it was the blackest Super Bowl ever. We've had black ones before. Trust me, we've had some black ones before, but this one was the blackest Super Bowl ever. I mean, let's just really just sit here and talk about it real quick. First off, we got to give shout outs to Autumn Lockwood. Autumn Lockwood is a coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. She's not the first coach to coach in a Super Bowl, but I think she is. Actually, yes, she is. I'm bugging. She is one of the first women coaches to coach in a Super Bowl. One of the first. I'm not saying she is the first, but when it comes to black people, she is the first black woman to coach in a Super Bowl, and she is now the first black woman to win a Super Bowl. Big shout outs to her, taking a next step forward for black people, but not just black people, but black women everywhere. So I got a big shout out to her. She got a ring. So that is two people on the Eagles I would congratulate. Autumn Lockwood, Saquon Barkley. That's it. Also, for the second time in NFL history, we had 2 black quarterbacks headline the Super Bowl. And they're the same 2 black quarterbacks that headlined it the first time, which is Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes won the first time, and now Jalen Hurts won this one. So we have that. That is also black history too. John Batiste, Grammy Award-winning John Batiste won. He didn't win anything this time, but he did the national anthem, and we also had a lot of different acts from New Orleans doing different songs, renditions, themes, America the Beautiful, all that stuff. And of course, we had Kendrick Lamar doing the Super Bowl halftime show with special guest SZA, with special guest Serena Williams, with special guest Samuel L. Jackson, and DJ Mustard. So it was just black on black on black on black excellence all around, because it wasn't just Jalen Hurts that won the Super Bowl. It wasn't just Saquon Barkley and Autumn Lockwood that won the Super Bowl. It was a lot of other players of color that won the Super Bowl as well. But with that being said, let's just jump ahead to the elephant in the room, which was the Kendrick Lamar performance. Now, on a night where you were entertained by football and Super Bowl commercials, and a lot of them talking about empowerment, a weird one about Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady just basically saying they hate each other, and then they hate the fact that they had to do this, but they don't hate their agent because that just got them the bag. But in a night where it was a lot of different entertainment, we knew that Kendrick was going to entertain us, right? But my thing is that a lot of people were very upset about this performance. Like, we were a nation divided, probably a world divided, between a lot of people that thought it was either cool or okay, and a lot of people that just thought it was just weak and whack. And they didn't think that because they're fans of Drake. They just think that because I guess they expected more for some reason. And my thing is, how? How did you expect more? In the infamous words of Kanye West, how, Sway? How? Because let's remember, Kendrick is basically like the spiritual successor to Tupac, right? Because his music, he don't really make a lot of music that's going to get you out your seat and start dancing. Not Like Us is the one that did, and it's literally a diss track calling Drake a pedophile. Everybody in the crowd was sitting there talking about A minor. Your man's pulled up with a lowercase a chain. Like, it was that big of a deal. It was so crazy that Drake at a concert had to respond saying that he never died, to basically say that he's not out of the, I don't know if he's teasing that he's still in the fight against Kendrick. I don't know what that even meant, but it was the craziest night of just everything. So, I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, what are we talking about, people? What performance were you watching? Because this was good. Yes, last year we had Usher, and Usher was, healing all over the arena, and he was roller skating and all that stuff. And the year before that, we had Rihanna, and they were doing hits. But look, those are two pop artists who make pop songs. Usher does R&B too, but he made pop hits. He made pop hits that are timeless. Like, yeah, and Lovin' This Club, and Oh My God. He made those. Rihanna made those too, right? So hard. Rihanna made So Hard and Umbrella and all this other stuff. Like, she made those. So at the end of the day, those are pop classics that are going to make people go, oh yeah, I'm going to get out my seat. I'm going to dance. I'm going to boogie. I'm going to groove. It's mainstream. Kendrick is mainstream, but a lot of his hits are about, like, the revolution, man. He's not trying to bring a whole revolution where violent things happen, but he's just trying to get the world to understand that, like, there's still an injustice in the world. There's still an injustice all over America, all over the world. I mean, think about it. Last night, unbeknownst to us, and also a quick pivot, shout out to this guy, because this is crazy. This guy, I don't know if he was part of Kendrick's backup dancers or not, but he was in the background dancing, and then he just pulls out, like, I think it was a flag about Gaza. I don't fully remember what was said, but he just started waving a flag around. He got chased around the field, still was waving a flag around. Eventually, I think he just got tired or he gave up, and then he got tackled. So this dude was on some real Naruto stuff, because he used the black stereotype of we all look alike, and has security thinking, I think that's one of Kendrick's background dancers. He does have a lot of dancers. I mean, to be fair, there was a scene in the beginning of Kendrick's performance where a bunch of dancers popped out of a car. If I was security, I probably would have thought he was part of them too. I would have been like, yeah, I think he just popped out the car with the rest of them. It wasn't right what he did, technically. But from a hood standpoint, I respect it. It was crazy because nobody really saw it. You had to be there to see it. And thankfully, because of social media, somebody took their camera and recorded it, uploaded it online, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, what I'm saying that to say is it's just, that's the type of show you're going to get from Kendrick. You're going to get a good show, but he's very pro-black. He's very conscious minded, but he can do it in a way where he can cross the bridge. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that, like, I don't know if y'all thought y'all was going to get a show where he was doing the hits that were more party vibes that he made, like Swimming Pools or freaking, what was that one? Hope I'm not too late to get my, like, you're not going to get that. You wasn't going to get that. You saw that, right? What did you get? You got stuff from the GNX album, then you got Humble, then you got DNA, and he gave you those. He gave you those hits that's like, yeah, DNA was using like a good amount of sports events, right? He gave you those. He gave you all the stars because he knew all them non-black people, they saw Black Panther, so he knew. He knew what to play. He was going to have SZA on there. He was going to give him 2 SZA songs. He got more songs with SZA. But at the end of the day, he got a message across. Yes. Am I going to diss Drake on this floor? I'm definitely going to diss Drake. But am I also going to take the platform to recognize what we're going through in America, especially with the 47th president of the United States in the building a month after he got inaugurated? Yes, please. So 2 people got dissed tonight when you really think about it. The obvious one, Drake, and the subliminal one, which is not just Trump, but it was basically all of white America. That's what he was trying to do. And this is just my opinion. I'm not sitting here saying this is what he actually did. I don't really know what this man's thoughts, but everybody is online making their own theories, their own speculation. And I said, heck, I got the platform for it. Again, it's free speech. But I liked his performance, and I didn't like it because I'm a black person. I liked it because he was representing a message while still entertaining the crowd. And the crowd was just sitting there eating it all up because all they were waiting for was to just yell out A minor for 2 seconds. So it wasn't really bothering them, but it bothered a lot of people that it just wasn't what they expected. But I really want to know what the hell you expected. Were you really expecting him to, like, he gave y'all choreography a little bit. He walked, man was winded from time to time. He tried to rap and he was like, I go to the, like, he was tired. You know what I mean? Like, it's not much else he could have done. He had a leather jacket on. He was walking around a hot ass stadium. He was tired. He was tired. His audio wasn't really as good as it should have been. Like, the mic was sounding a little crazy. He was just making the most of the situation, but he made it work. Now, at the end of the day, the greatest Super Bowl performance of all time is not Kendrick's. It is another black performer. I'll give you a hint. He was once known as the King of Pop. But, and the close second is Beyonce, because she shut the power down in the arena after she did it. But we also been on the wrong side of Super Bowl performances, like the Black Eyed Peas. So you can't, I just say, Super Bowl halftime show really, it should be more pop heavy because you want to be entertained during the halftime show. But you got to get the right artists, right? Because, you know, there was Justin Timberlake when he accidentally exposed Janet Jackson's chest. And then there was Justin Timberlake again when he used a hologram of Prince when I don't think his family or estate even wanted him to. So it was just like, you get those bad times. You do. But you get good times. Even like when Whitney Houston sang the national anthem and everybody was like, yo, this chick can sing. So you're going to get those half and halves. But with Kendrick's in 2025, it didn't have to be the best. It just had to get the messages across that he wanted to get. The man had Samuel L. Jackson play Uncle Sam. He had a 76-year-old legendary actor walking all around the field, just saying little lines, and then going to the song, even forbidding him, like, yo, bro, you gonna get sued for this. Even though I was part of the script, you had him doing all of this stuff to get a message across. There was no other reason to have Samuel L. Jackson out there dressed up as Uncle Sam. Come on. Unless you was trying to get a message across. He could have got some other actor to do that or a random person. So you got to see where the messages were at. And I applauded the messages. The messages were just like, yo, we still are not. Yes, we can have all this fun dancing and entertaining, but let's not ignore the injustices that are going on out here, especially if people of color. We are going through it. I'm not trying to make this a political video, but I am trying to say that, like, that's what his rap is usually about. Come on. To Pimp a Butterfly. Damn. Most of his last few albums was literally just him just like telling you that life is tough out here for us, for his people, the locations he live at. And yes, he does have party hits. Yes, he does have features where he gets in and sings about other things. Yes, he did pop hits with bands like Maroon 5 and artists like Taylor Swift. Yes, he did do that to help elevate who he is. But come on. If you were sitting there expecting him to hit all the party hits, you were bugging. You was bugging. You set a standard higher than what he was setting for himself. He wasn't going to sit there and do, girl, I'm Kendrick Lamar. He wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to do effing Problems. He wasn't going to do his feature from One Train. He wasn't doing that. Would I have probably been cool if he did Pull Up, Drink? Yeah, probably. But I knew what I was getting. I knew I was going to get hits from GNX. I knew I was going to get the most mainstream song, which was All the Stars, because it was SZA, so he had to connect the dots. And I knew that if it was any other SZA song we was going to get was If This World Was Mine, a.k.a. Luther, because that is also a chill song that you could bop to, and it connects with All the Stars, which was cool. So you got people at home who are sitting, watching this video and being like, well, I still think it was a whack performance. Just look at the other performances of Super Bowl past. You're not going to find a lot better than what he did. Like I threw out two, which was Michael Jackson and Beyonce. I'm also going to throw in Usher and Rihanna. And then there's a few others from back in the day that were pretty cool. But you're not going to find a better one than that. I'm just being real. But let's throw out some of the other things. The fact that Serena Williams was out there. You got Drake's ex, which I don't know if she did it to really spite Drake or if she just did it because she's from Cali and he's from Cali and she was just showing him Cali love. I don't know. We don't know the confirmation. But what I do know is if that is what he was going for, checkmate. This was, once again, Kendrick proving that I won this battle. There's nothing else that says I won this battle more than getting your ex-girlfriend to pull up, start sea-walking to the diss track about you on live television in front of thousands, millions of fans, because this Super Bowl set a record from like one of the highest viewed ones. So millions of fans all over the world were watching and singing along. And yes, Drake is doing a world tour right now, so he's still getting love. He's out in Australia. There's still a group of people who are going to love Drake. But it's really hard to come back from this. I'm just saying. Like I told y'all in my Grammy video, there's been a lot of diss tracks over the years that were very damaging to careers. And a lot of rappers didn't come back from those diss tracks. Right? When Ice Cube made No Vaseline, the only person to come out of that battle alive was Dr. Dre. Eazy-E was okay. He helped get Bone Thugs and Harmony off the ground, but Dr. Dre was the one to come out of that. When Jay-Z and Nas were battling, they both hit each other with a strong hook with Ether and Takeover and stuff like that. And they both came out okay. But when 50 Cent was dissing Ja Rule and they was really going at it, Ja Rule never recovered. Never recovered. Meanwhile, 50 went on to become a actor, a big-time rapper, just a multimillionaire of so many different sorts of entertainment and companies, and Ja Rule was dancing in a local pizza commercial. Like, sometimes there are some songs that are very damaging. Will this damage Drake's career? That is yet to be seen. I don't think it will, but we have to wait and see. But what I do know is the more and more this song gains traction, the more and more it's just going to keep hurting Drake. And if Drake doesn't either, I don't know if he could really make a response that'll be that damaging, but it is kind of funny because your man's, I don't know what it is. Kendrick Lamar has the craziest spiritual pressure. If you think about an anime, he either has really good spiritual pressure or really good hockey or great key, whatever it is, it's strong. Because he dissed Drake so badly, Drake went and dissed LeBron James instead of just coming back with more, trying to get more fire at Kendrick. J. Cole quit the battle altogether. Kanye West went on record saying, hey, you know what? You guys can't beat Kendrick Lamar and don't try to. But if I wanted to, I could beat him. Then turned around and started dissing Dave Chappelle, who's not a rapper. What is happening? Nobody is trying to come for the crown that Kendrick is wearing. Not a new school rapper, not an old school rapper. And I am here for this. So this was a really cool performance, if you ask me. You know what? Bring the rating system down here. Bring the rating system down. I know what I saw from Kendrick. This is what you're going to see when he goes on tour with SZA. And more, because he'll have more time to iron out more of the hits that he does, to give you a better set list for this whole thing. So I'm going to say it's valid. It was a valid performance. Yes, could I have saw some more SZA in time? Yes, that is what the tour is for. But this was all a ploy to get you ready for his tour that was coming up. Just like Usher. Usher has a residency in Vegas. And when he was doing the residency, he did the concert at the Super Bowl. And people loved it. They ate it up because he was giving you all the past and present hits. Kendrick gave you some past hits, but mostly the present hits. So please, people, focus on what it was about. The message and the diss. The message and the diss. But I want to leave you with one final thought before I end this video. What happens next? And not with Kendrick and Drake. I don't even want to know at this point what happens next. Kendrick is so far up there right now. Who will be next? Are we going back to a hip hop performance, or are we going to try and switch genres? The last several artists since 2019 have been all people of color, non-Caucasians. We've had Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. We had The Weeknd. We had Rihanna. We had Usher. And then we had Kendrick Lamar and SZA. So I don't know if they're going to try to change it, especially in Trump's America, or are we going to keep trying this hip hop trend? If there is another person to try and fill those shoes, there's two really strong options. It's just I don't know if the world is trying to let one of those options really perform. One of those options, in my personal opinion, would be Chris Brown. Chris Brown is a phenomenal dancer. He is a great singer. He has a plethora. He has a lot of hits that he can go on for 15, 20 minutes. He can go on longer. So he has a lot of hits. He has a lot of features that he's been in or he's had on. He has a lot of those, and he can do that. Do I think he'd be qualified? Yes. A lot of people was arguing Lil Wayne instead of Kendrick because they were in New Orleans. I think Lil Wayne would have made it work. It just all depends on the set list. But I think he also could have brought out Drake too, or Nicki Minaj. I think Lil Wayne, you do it another year. He just won't be in New Orleans if he wants to do it. I think he'll make it work. But yeah, I think Chris Brown, I know the world is still mad at him for what he did all those years ago, and I can't take that away from anybody how they feel. Whether they want to forgive him or not, we should forgive. But I can't take that away from anybody. But I just think on a different level, and I think that might be the reason they're not choosing to use him as a Super Bowl performer. Hopefully one day that happens and he can show the world that he really is good at this. The other person, which I really think, in terms of a rapper, would be Tyler, the Creator. I think Tyler, Creator would tear the house down. I think he's had enough hits now where he's very mainstream now, a lot more than he was before. But he has a lot of hits that he could come out, and you see his performances, whether you've seen him live or online. The man be flying out of cabins and stuff. Like, he does all types of crazy stuff. He could tear the Super Bowl down if he wanted to. He could break the internet with the Super Bowl if he does it. If he brings the hits from Igor, brings the hits from Call Me If You Get Lost, he's done a lot that people could really sit there and go, especially on Conma, the latest joint. I think Tyler, Creator, Chris Brown, a possible third would probably be Donald Glover. So I think those three guys, because they have a lot of hits, a lot of pop hits, they can make it work. I think those three guys would definitely make it work. But I feel like with the Chris Brown one, America has to be ready to let him in front of their homes for 15 minutes to sing some hits. That's what it is. Now, he can't be doing the whole gyrate and take it down. He can't be doing all of that. But if he does like Usher did and just sings like the cool songs and dances, I think he would break the internet. He would. Now, if they don't go rap, obviously, you have a lot of different options in different genres. Like, if you stay pop, you go Billie Eilish, you go Sabrina Carpenter. If you go rock, you go somewhere over there. Like, you got different, like, icons that you could use of present day. Or you do somebody from yesteryear and just, they play the oldies. You know what I mean? But I just think that those three that I just said really have one of the greatest shots. Who do you think also has a good shot to headline the Super Bowl next year? Or let's just say in the next 5 years. We're in 2025, so now who do you think can headline the Super Bowl anytime between 2026 and 2030? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. I have my ideas. I have probably a few more people I think of, but I think right now, Donald Glover, Chris Brown, Tyler, Creator, one of those three should be running it in the next couple years. But again, Kendrick Lamar, you did your thing. Can't be mad at it. It's what it is. People have to just realize that this was more about the getting a real clear cut message about America in front of their screens, which is why he sang some of the songs he sang, and just letting America know, like, this is what it is. This is what my people are going through. But also at the same time, giving you what you wanted, which was a diss track about Drake. I can't. The lowercase A chain was just, oh my gosh, chef's kiss. The lowercase A chain. I sat there for a minute going, is that Amazon? But then I realized once they did the A minor, I said, oh. And especially to look at the camera like, hey, Drake, this is where you wanted to be, right? The Super Bowl. It's just so much justified pettiness on so many different levels. Drake, if you find your way to responding, make it count, please. If you make some whack stuff, everybody's just going to trash you even more. Anyway, that is my rant on the blackest Super Bowl ever. I appreciate you watching if you got this far into the video. Make sure you follow Nerds in the Hood on social media using the link tree in the description below. And I will catch you next time on another edition of Nerds in the Hood. It's your boy Marv Lat, and I'm out of here. Peace. A minor.